Hello. So we're going to talk today about turning an agent into a business because what I see, and it's so important, is understanding from top down where things might go wrong, that your stuff isn't talking to each other, you update a contact here, or a calendar only works on one device and you can't find your information anywhere, you can't pull up a file. And it really stems from four things, which I'm going to talk about today. And in the end, it's costing you more than likely tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars more in lost commission. So let's get started and let's talk about what the four steps are. We're going to be talking about turning agents into businesses today. 4 steps top agents use to streamline their business without spending a dime on lead gen, door knocking, cold calling, all that stuff you hate. Facebook ads, Google ads, really just having proper systems in place. Okay, does this sound like you? Do you secretly feel disorganized, that your stuff is scattered all over the place and that you can't find anything and your stress level is over the top and you panic often? Trying to find your stuff. Why have I updated my phone and I can't find my stuff, right? Do you feel like you're working all the time and you want to spend more time with your partner, your spouse, kids, friends, family, but you're working all the time? Do you keep trying different software, hoping this will be the magic one where all your tech problems will disappear? Do you feel overwhelmed and frustrated, like you're never going to get it, never be organized, never know how to keep up, and maybe even you feel a little too old to figure this stuff out? Come on, technology's changed so fast, right? Does this sound like you, that you're embarrassed that you aren't keeping in touch with those past clients? Are you overwhelmed with working so hard trying to find new clients with those expensive lead gen sites, advertising, door knocking, trying to figure out social media and cold calling, right? Are you frustrated because your past clients use someone else? You know you're losing out on deals due to lack of systems, but you have no idea how to even start to fix them. Finally, do you feel so non-technical, and again, maybe even a little bit stupid, you'll never figure this out, that the software that you're using is an enemy instead of an asset? If any of that sounds like you, then I've got good news, well, maybe great news, because none of these are the real problem. They're symptoms of a problem. The real problem is that the foundation of your business is cracked or completely broken. You haven't done the 4 steps or understand the 4 steps that we're going to talk about how to fix your business. But first, let me tell you about who I am. My name is Darci LaRocque, and I have gained a very unique knowledge over the last many decades in information technology. The stuff you hate, I love. I have worked for decades on how email servers integrate with wireless devices and email software, how cloud storage can improve your business, and how to seamlessly and consistently keep in touch with your clients once your systems are set up properly. I can really help any industry with systems, but why I focus on real estate agents? Well, how do I know your jargon and your market and your issues? Because my husband Terry is an agent, and it all started back in 2008 when I was looking at how he was running his business. And I wanted to help him be more streamlined. So I started taking a look at what he was doing. Like, why are you using your Yahoo email? Oh, okay. Why aren't your devices set up to access all the files on your computer? I don't know. How are you keeping in touch with your clients? That blank stare I'm so familiar with now. And why are you spending a lot of money on lead gen? And quite frankly, I did not like any of his answers. Like nothing. And out of 15,000 agents at the time on his board, he's always been the top 1 to 5%. And you know what? No expensive lead gen, no door knocking, none of the stuff he hates to do. So I started to work with more and more agents. And way back then, I actually realized then it wasn't a Terry problem, but an industry one. Now I help thousands of agents across North America not be like that Terry from 2008. So this is Terry. Since fixing Terry, oh, hold on, I mean his systems, every year is his best year. And I discovered that it's really important about these 4 key steps that most agents don't do or understand to run their business like an actual business. I have spent a lot of time looking at your industry software for Terry to see what is really a good fit to make your business work for you and what tools are required in order to succeed and integrated with your everyday tools. Now let me walk you through the 4 steps. The first step is really we're going to talk about domains. Then we're going to talk about email, we're going to talk about cloud storage, and we're going to talk about CRMs, that nasty 3-letter word CRM. So let's first talk about domains. Should you use your own name in your domain? Well, let me tell you a few things. I'm going to pop up 2 domain names that many agents use. So the top one is a made-up name, but lots of people have names that people can't spell or say, and so no one's ever going to find that top one. We have problems with Terry's too, because how do you spell Osti? How do you spell Terry? People don't quite get it. So in your industry, that is really what most agents do. Now, other things to consider if you're rebranding or you're just starting new is why don't you use something more generic and think to the future when you may go to sell your business. Okay, there's many reasons for doing this, but something like area code homes.com, 416homes.com, a phone number if it's a nice easy phone number, houses in Houston or Vancouver, something simple and generic, okay? And in my program, when I'm helping agents, we'll talk about other ways of doing this because there's other extensions that are pretty cool. Okay, so the very first thing is understanding a domain. Now, most of the time, unless you're brand new, I know that most agents actually have a website that they use. And that's the key thing, have a website, okay? All right, now, here's a marketing tip for you. See how we spell terryosti.com and houses in on the right-hand side? A marketing tip for you is to capitalize each letter in a word, because that just helps people visually see what your website actually says. So you see this one here. Very quickly, you probably don't understand what this website is, but if we cap it, it's expertsexchange.com. Okay. And yours should be similar, so it's very easy to see what the website names are, or the words in the website name, okay? All right, now we're going to go into email, which is my absolutely favorite topic in the world. I've decades and decades I've talked about email, the importance of email, what agents don't understand about email. So let's get started. Because the free stuff is actually expensive. It is costing you a lot. Free email, free cloud storage, free apps, free CRM. If you're always looking for something free, that means you're not paying for the full version, right? How's a company live off charging nothing for their product, right? There's always a reason that they do that. So let's talk about what that means for your business. We're going to delve into this in a bit more detail, but one of the important aspects of business that I see 90% of agents fail at, again, is the email. What has it got to do with trust, integrity, reliability, and more? Well, a lot more than you think. First, I always like to explain this in a different manner than real estate. So let's say you're looking into using a new bank, and you met 2 bankers, all things being equal, same fees and everything, and you like them both the same. And the first one is Private Banker Jill 1983@gmail.com, and the second one is joe@royalbank.com. It is a no-brainer. You probably think Jill's going to take your money and run for the hills. Is she reliable? Does she even really work for a bank? Right? I don't know why agents don't understand this, because for banking, you would never use this first person, ever. Okay? What about if you had to hire a lawyer? You have Joe the Best Lawyer 1973@yahoo.com. Now, I have to tell you guys, oh my goodness, if you ever work with me, we'll talk about how bad it is to put your birth year in your email. It's horrible. Do not do that. Or we've got Jenny at Smith Law. Again, it's a no-brainer, all things being equal. So why do you think it's different in your industry? Okay, so lawyers and bankers actually have usually IT people that will set up their stuff for you. But what's interesting to me is that in a real estate forum, someone asked this question. Is it tacky to use Gmail, they said, as a professional email domain? And remember, on a real estate forum, are agents experts on this? No. On many things. They're going to tell you what they think and what they've done, but I was appalled at the 1,000+ answers. 90% of the agents said, who the heck cared? I was appalled. No, use your Yahoo account. Nobody cares. Never lost never lost a client because of an email. I was so astounded. How on earth would you know if you lost a client? You don't know. They went with the other more professional agent, right? Oh, they just went on and on and on. So I'm not saying that you aren't professional, but it doesn't look like it, okay? I have been working on email for decades, and I know how important it is optically and for technical reasons. But after I saw all the agents commenting, I asked the same question on my Facebook page. I said, no agents responding. If you were going to hire a real estate agent, agents don't answer, and you interviewed 2 of them, remember this is probably the biggest investment for most people. You like them both equally. Their marketing ideas are the same, and you resonate with both. Here's their email. Joe Smith, 1979, it probably actually would say realtor, best realtor ever at gmail.com, or Jenny, housesinyourarea.com. Would email sway your decision? Okay. This is the answers I got from many, many people. 90% of your clients would say it matters. Number 2 is more professional. The Gmail account would put me off. It speaks to me as being professional. Personalized domains for sure. And it went on and on. Is it possible that you don't know you are losing clients? Just optically. Technically, I can guarantee you probably are. But just the way it looks. Email is important. And studies show that. It's extremely unprofessional. It's inconsistent in your branding. You're branding for Shaw or Yahoo or AT&T, AOL. You're not branding for yourself. You're less confident and trustworthy. You don't look legitimate. And 75% of consumers say an email address matching your domain is critical to trust and professionalism. It just is. And here are the issues that you have when you're using free email. And most people don't even understand that this is the issue. So you forward your email to some other email, and that can lead up to delays of 30 minutes. And time is money in your industry. Do you really want to wait up to 30 minutes to get an email? I know you guys. It's super important that you don't forward email. You give out or use your brokerage email to your clients. So food for thought, please. Now, it could be just a forwarding email. Again, I don't like that. That's not good. But if it isn't a forwarding email, it's an actual email address that has contacts attached to it and calendar and all the email. Who owns the data? What if you leave? Again, who owns the data? You should always own your own data. That means emails between you and your clients or anybody else, that's yours. All your clients and contacts are attached to the email, calendar items attached to it, cloud storage attached to it. So what if you leave? They're not going to let you have all that stuff or forward it for you. You've left the brokerage, right? But that's the email you've been giving to your clients, and it's the email on all your marketing materials. That's so bad. Now, it's fixable, but it's really interesting that most people don't even think about this. What about your emails end up in spam because you use a role-based email address? Now, you can go Google this later, but role-based emails are something like info@houses in Texas, okay? No, probably Houston. Okay. So this is a true story. An agent using a role-based email like info sends you an email saying, we just got an offer, you in. You don't get it. Why? Because the email servers consider it spam and it goes to the spam folder. True story. So a client of mine lost a deal for their client and herself because the listing agent used info@ and it automatically went to spam. Now, yeah, should she have looked in spam? Yes. Should the other agent should have called her or texted her? Yes. But in multiple offer situation, you're under the gun and they told you. So you should be checking your spam, just FYI, if you're doing offers and your email isn't set up properly or that agent uses weird email addresses, okay? Really, really important. You're using email that is tied to your internet service provider. Oh my goodness, you guys. Shaw, TELUS in Canada, AT&T and Cox in the US, and many, many other smaller type of internet service providers. I can't even tell you all the reasons that this is bad, but to name a few. What if you move and they don't service that area? Email is now gone. Their specialty is not email, it is internet. Okay, so mostly they're not spending their money on their email servers, so they're on old email servers, which I will explain why that's a problem in a bit. Old email servers that impact your contacts and your calendar and why things don't sync. Okay, don't fret, because we actually know how to fix all this, but I want you to understand why you're having these problems, okay? I've seen it all over the last decade or so. And I also see clients managing multiple databases of contacts and leads and clients, one on a spreadsheet, one on a CRM they're not really using, nothing's updated in real time. It's really frustrating. So we see you update your CRM contact and it's a separate database. It doesn't update your phone. It doesn't update Outlook or macmail or webmail contacts that you're using. It can, but because you're not set up properly, it doesn't. You read an email on one device and it doesn't show unread everywhere else. It's because it's incorrect. You move an email to a folder, it doesn't move elsewhere, or you can't find it. Bad systems. And Apple users, Apple takes over your device, email, contacts, calendar. Oh my goodness, I fix this all day, every day. And unknowingly, people don't quite understand how it happened. I get it. But 95% of the time, you or the vendor just said yes, 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 and now all your important stuff sits with Apple. And this is partly why you can't find your stuff. And yes, it's fixable by an expert who knows how to do it. It's frustrating, right? And I'm not saying Apple's bad. I'm just saying it has to be configured correctly. You have piecemealed all your software to try and get it all to work, yet it doesn't. Frustrating. This causes you a lot of lost time and money, and maybe worse is the stress because you don't know how to fix it. And other experts don't talk about the tech side of your business. They'll guarantee that you'll make more money by doing lead gens and pop-bys and mail-outs and ads. Well, I can guarantee you if your systems are set up properly and configured properly, you will save a ton of time, frustration, and you will get more repeat and referral business. What if your system simply worked for you? Now, I always like to preface this with people go, oh, I'm just going to go do it myself. Do not just go get another business email or another email because there's so many options out there. And is it the right one? I have tested for decades which ones work with real estate CRMs. And there's only really one true option that works to get things set up properly and integrated. So don't do that because you can pick the wrong platform. You can set it up just as another forwarding. So I got another email that you pay and you forward it to your Yahoo account, to your Gmail account. It really isn't good. And it's still not going to sync correctly with all devices. And it's still not going to work with your CRM. And there are many implications of not knowing. You want the back end of that horse, okay? Not the front end. Okay. So why does all this stuff matter? Well, there's kind of an old way of things being set up and the new way. And I'm going to tell you the new way is not that new anymore. But just for the purposes of showing you why this matters. So POP and IMAP are what most people are using when they've got the, Shaw and TELUS and Yahoo. Why that matters is that if it's POP, it means that it's a one-way download. And what that actually means is if I have it set up on my phone and then my tablet and my computer, I only see it syncs everything one way. If I delete off my phone, it doesn't delete off everywhere else. So you're managing the same thing multiple times, right? Makes no sense. The folders don't sync, the contacts don't sync, the calendar doesn't sync, it doesn't integrate with a CRM, and cloud storage isn't included. Now, IMAP came out. I was so happy from a tech side of things way back when. This is so long ago, like 20 years ago or so. I was thrilled though because now that means that the email will sync. I delete off my phone, it deletes off my tablet, off Outlook, off macmail, off my webmail. My folders sync if I'm using email folders. But you guys, nothing else syncs. And the new way of doing things on a properly configured business email server set up properly, look at this. Every single thing syncs and integrates. Okay, it is magical. And so once this is done, oh my goodness, it's amazing. But when you're in POP and IMAP, you get stressed out and you have high levels of stress, right? Let me talk quickly about a case study that we have. Is that we have a client we helped, and she was so typical of an agent, SHELLA Chan. SHELLA will say she knows she isn't tech savvy, and before she came to us for help, nothing was syncing. She wanted to only use one properly configured business email. She couldn't figure out how to do that because she had multiple email addresses. Nothing was integrated with her CRM, so she had to try and remember to update all the different spots. And she was, right, having to enter information in multiple spots, spreadsheets, contacts, address book. She was so frustrated, and she knew she was missing data because of that. And she had no clue about cloud storage. So we were able to help SHELLA out a lot. Let's talk, though, about the next thing that is costing you money. Cloud storage. Because, again, free is expensive if you don't understand cloud storage. Now, a lot of things that's very interesting with cloud storage is that what people don't quite understand is, there's many different ones. These are the top 4. So we got iCloud, Dropbox, OneDrive, Google Drive, and they really are, most people understand what they are, but they don't really understand how to use them. Okay. So here's some issues you will be having if you don't understand cloud storage. Is your free and personal email linked to the cloud storage app? So when you send files, it's still coming from Joe the best realtor ever 1978 at Gmail, right? Not set up properly. If you think you have to use the same cloud storage app that other agents use, you do not. You just don't understand how it works. If you can't pull up that important file on your phone, you don't have it set up right. If you drive back to your home or office to get a file, not set up right. How much time and energy and gas? Maybe you have an electric vehicle. It might be not so bad. Okay. If you attach individual documents to emails because you just don't get sending a link, right? Or worse, if you're taking JPEGs or images of contracts to send, that's horrible. And other agents tell you to use something. This pertains to many apps and software, but lots of agents say, like, Betty says use Dropbox, it's better than Google Drive, and Joe says no, OneDrive's best, and Ruth says iCloud's so much better. But they aren't you, and those agents don't know your setup. So what's good for them doesn't mean it's necessarily good for you, okay? You save everything on your hard drive, right? If you save everything on your hard drive and you hope nothing serious ever happens and your computer and wireless device dies and all your files are gone. This has happened to a few agents that came to me after the fact. One total hard drive failure, no backup. He was mad and sad and irritated at himself, and he had to spend $10,000, it would not have been that much to fix all this, at a forensic hard drive specialist to try and get back some client files. 25% he got back. That's so sad because this is totally avoidable and easily fixed. Another agent's father passed away. She'd taken all the photos, she saved it on her hard drive of her computer, she removed them off her device, and yep, device died, nothing backed up, all the last pictures of her dad gone. It's all fixable. It makes me so sad, you guys. And then the other thing that agents get stressed out about is having a desktop look like this. How on earth do you find stuff? And then on the technical side, it's slowing your computer down. Again, you'll feel like this guy if this happens to you, but it's an easy fix. Okay, let's talk about my favorite 3-letter word. It's almost like a 4-letter word, right? Many agents, the disdain is CRM because you feel like you're throwing your money away. And I see this over and over and over again, people paying for a CRM and not using it. And I can tell you that it is a gold mine if it is configured properly to talk to that properly configured business email, right? I always want people to think about this. Don't bury your head in the sand because you have to look at your numbers. This is how much potential money you have lost and how many clients you didn't get to help, all because you didn't have the right systems in place. So I'm just going to go on a 5 deals a year you lost. Many agents are way more than that, but figure it out. If you do 20 years a deal and that's 20 people, times 2, because there's usually 2 of them, that's 40 people, and they all have friends and family, that's like 80 people. And how many of those 80 people were going to buy and sell, but they didn't use you because you were not keeping in touch, because you don't have a proper CRM? So I'm just going to go with an average of 5. And also to say an average commission is 5. I know it's a little less in some areas and it's a way more in others, but if you were just going to take that as an average, that's 5 deals a year, $5,000 in lost commission. That's $25,000 a year. And if you've been in business for 10 years, it's been, you ready? $250,000 you've lost. Is it worth to fix your darn systems? Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. And using a CRM isn't the only thing. It's everything. The best CRM, because everyone's wondering, what is the best CRM? Is she going to tell us? The one you'll use. Now, that's partly true because I have researched probably 20, 25 CRMs out there, and they're not all equal. So yeah, it's the one you use for sure, but not all of them integrate. The good one, you update the CRM contact, it updates your phone contact, and it's possible, right? You don't have to remember to update all these different spots. So let me recap the old way of doing things. Does this image resonate with anybody? Is anyone still using these old devices? Of course not. You've upgraded. So why are you still running your life and your business the old way? Using a free email account that is actually costing you in reputation, time, and integration. Remember that pop and IMAP explanation? Using many different free email accounts. You got 5 to 10 email accounts. The most I've seen is 27, so don't feel bad. And how on earth do you keep track of that? Where are your contacts attached to? Which email did you send and receive from? It's confusing. And then you add that Apple issue, the @me and the @iCloud. It takes over. Oh my goodness. And are you having to drive back to your home or office for anything because you aren't set up to get access on your phone? And none of your stuff is integrated properly, so you do things multiple times over and over and over again. That's the definition of insanity, and it's so tedious and time-consuming. Boy, managing your clients on a spreadsheet. If you're chasing new clients all the time with expensive lead gen, expensive websites, ads, right? When you just could be using systems to keep in touch with your actual past, current, and future clients. And chasing new clients all the time with ads, paying for ads when you could be generating referrals and repeat business from proper system setup. And do lead gens and ads work? Well, sure. But first, wouldn't it be smart to keep in touch easily with your actual past, current, and future clients instead of spending tens of thousands of dollars, maybe a month, on the other stuff? So, the new way of doing things, setting up the foundation of your business properly. The new way, a straight line to have proper business systems in place. Can you imagine a world where all you do is update anywhere and it updates everywhere? No more manual data entry, automatic syncing of information, including your CRM. You can go away and it won't cost you a deal. You get that file you need on your phone or tablet or computer. You move an email to a folder and hey, it moves everywhere that you viewed it. Enter information real time anywhere and get your time back up to 10 or more hours a week and fill your funnel with repeat and referral business from proper system setup. 10,000, 100,000. Some agents who did that math are up to $1 million in lost revenue from incorrect system setup. So what's the secret weapon? Step 1, correct domain and website address that you own. Step 2, correct business email on correct business email server that you own. Step 3, correct use and setup of cloud storage that you own. And step 4, correct CRM and setup of that CRM that you own the data. Okay? You update once, anywhere, anytime, and it updates everywhere. Imagine a world where you update your phone contact and it updates automatically to your tablet, your computer, your CRM, and vice versa. You update a calendar item and it actually shows everywhere. What about not having to manually remember to do stuff? You put a file on your computer, you access it anywhere, anytime, on any computer in the world. Wouldn't that be awesome? So let me recap. We talked about domains and email, And we talked about cloud storage and that nasty 3-letter word, CRM, right? The real cost of doing nothing is the money you aren't going to make and the missed opportunities. Can you be in business for 8 years, 10 years, 30 years, and never keep in touch with your clients because you can't figure out how to do it? Oh my goodness. And all you're doing is chasing more leads. Now, I have a longer webinar with a little bit more information at agenttechmastery.com if you want to watch that. I also have a free Facebook group for agents. If you go to streamlinedagents.com, you can ask questions there. We post other free webinars we're doing, and you can watch webinar replays. I offer a lot of tech tips there, so feel free to go there. And here's what's also going to happen is that I don't know if I may or may not be able to make a button appear down below or a link below to just go to apply. If not, you can go to agenttechmastery.com/apply and pick a time that works for you. And then what happens is we ask to know a little bit about your business setup so we can do a little research and get to know you better before our 30-minute strategy call. And it may be the best 30 minutes you have spent in a lifetime. Okay, and I love saying this, your old contacts are your gold contacts. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So let me tell you a few stories. I have a client, Paul Ellsworth from Florida, and he booked a call with me, and he came into our program and we started looking at all this stuff, and he said, you know what, I didn't even know where all the issues were until we started looking at it, and it was life-changing. And another agent, Craig, he's an agent 20 years in the business. And when he came and had us work with him, he said it was the best investment of his entire life. 20 years. He had tried a lot of things, and he said he wasn't technical and it always worried him what to do. But you don't need to be to get the help, okay? You don't need to be. It is gold to have all this set up, and all my clients say it's life-changing. Yeah, it is technology, but it's more than that. It's your precious time with your family and your friends and your loved ones, and it's keeping in touch with your past clients so you are top of mind and you don't lose that hundreds of thousands of dollars or more. Remember? We had a client once who said he stopped at $1 million of lost revenue. It's so bad to have lost deals due to incorrect systems. So don't let that be you. I hope you book a call. Thanks for being here. And I sure hope we get to chat. My name is Darci LaRocque from Agent Tech Mastery.